Hey, let me balance you on here, my Super Pro setup. I just got a phone call from a lady out in the desert. High energy, strong personality. I like it. I like her. She wants me to do a table for her. If we can come to terms on it, I'll probably do it. But she called me to tell me drama. And when she said what she said, my response to it was, I don't care, because I'm not a drama guy. But the gist of it, just so you guys understand, YouTube drama. It happens. It happens between YouTubers when they meet each other and if they comment on somebody else's thing. Um, it was women, for one thing. So I don't care because women can be, no offense, ladies, but you know this, right? You can get offended over things. If I'm speaking about something and you know me, I can meander around a bit before I get to the point because I'm trying to put you in the right mindset and have you understand where I'm coming from so that when I get to the point, you fully understand why I came to that conclusion. So, along that path, if I say something that you find offensive, you're going to take that and you're going to fixate on that and you're going to stop listening to me. And when I'm just done talking, if we're having an actual conversation, you're going to come back at me with the thing that offended you about what I said, which was just me using that as a tool to eventually get to the point I was trying to make in the first place. So she called me. She said, there's this woman. I won't mention her name. She's got a YouTube channel. And she said somebody called her and to warn her about you, that you said all these negative things about her and her channel or her content. I know who this is. It's not who you think it is. It's not Sarah. Sarah and I are cool. But I know who this woman is, and I actually like this chick. And I've watched her content, and the thing is I may have said something along the lines of, it doesn't do anything for me, but that's it. That doesn't mean it's not good or whatever. This particular woman, I actually kind of like what she does and goes to, but I can see where I look at her numbers, and I can see where she's at, and I see what she does, and I can see where there can be improvement with it. Not that I'm some guru, right? I mean, I don't have the numbers like Sarah has, right? I'm just a dude. But I have another friend who has a YouTube channel who I watched her go through a lot of drama. And after all that drama, she was real depressed and her channel was kind of going in the tank with that. Didn't know her at the time. And I reached out to her and we became friends and we started talking. And I asked her if she could take constructive criticism. And she said, yeah, she's actually very cool. I haven't talked to her in a while, but I do like her. Nice girl. Been through a bunch of bad relationships. And women, you guys deal with it different than we do, and you like to put all your stuff out there, and that's good for female viewership. Makes sense. A lot of men aren't watching it. Men are gonna watch it if you happen to be kind of hot, just because that's how men are. I'm not like that. Plenty of hot women out there. I'll see it, and I look at it. But if the content to me isn't redeeming in some way, if I can't get something out of it for myself that makes sense, I'm not going to watch it anymore. I don't care how hot you are or how scantily clad you are. It doesn't matter to me. But this particular woman, we started talking, became friendly, and I said, well, here's some suggestions. And I said, take your camera, right? First of all, extreme close-ups, not good. Get away from the extreme close-ups. Take your camera, set it up, find these different angles, find out. And I suggested some because I could see it. I said, when you have your camera here, that angle looks good with you. Do that. Tone of your voice, right? You have to keep in mind, like, it's coming out a certain way. But I notice when you get excited, it's more of like an annoying tone. This is not a criticism like I'm picking on you. It's just a reality. If I'm seeing it or hearing it, other people are. So when you speak this way, the tone is different and it's actually pleasing. Consider that. So these are things that you have to understand. Also, you don't see you the way you really are. Sounds funny, right? When I came out here to LA, and I'd done some acting in college and whatnot, but when I came out here, I started studying in Beverly Hills, and one of the exercises you do, you go out with your other actor buddies, right? You go to 3rd Street Promenade or some other place, and you walk up to strangers. You say, hey, you mind if I ask you a question or some questions? And, LA, they'll say, yeah. New York City, any big city. And you'll have your buddy across the way, and you'll say, hey, what do you think of that guy over there? Or that woman over there? Like, what's your impression of that person? These are perfect strangers, and they're going to say, well, this is what I think when I look at that person. And you do that a few times, and at the end of the day, you get together and you all sit down, and that's when you learn how other humans perceive you. So that's how I know how people perceive the way I look. I get it. A lot of people on YouTube never do that. So it's a thing. So the woman who called me, I said to her once we got through the BS stuff, I said, well, that particular woman, I actually like her, but I notice she does these few things. And if I was ever to speak with her and discover that she can handle some constructive criticism that would actually help her, these are the things I would probably say to her too. That's all that is. There's another woman on there that I don't dislike her as a human being. I spoke with her before a couple times, and she actually seemed pretty nice. But the content is set up in a way that, she's definitely doing it. She's working the angles and whatnot to make money, which is what most people are doing when they go to YouTube. I've been bringing that up lately with my own channel, but I didn't start this to make any money. I'm shocked that it's generating any income, even though, as you know, if you've been here, I haven't gotten a dime out of it yet. But I do have the new computer, so now I can do it with the AdSense, and that's going to happen. And YouTube's apparently holding a nice little chunk for me, and I'll get it. And then every month it'll come in. So that'll be fine, and of course I'm going to accept it. But I never ask you to hit the like button. I never ask you to subscribe. I know that some of my topics are all over the place. I know that being a man, as Sarah would say, a manly man, all that, I can come off as offensive and whatnot to a lot of women who watch me. But then they won't watch me anymore. It's so funny. My viewers are, 90-something% men. Well, that's who I'm talking to. That's who I am. I don't care about that huge diversity of subscribers as much. It'd be nice. But what I know is there are women here that watch. And if you're a woman and you're watching this channel, you're cool. Because you know that I'm not an asshole. I'm a pretty decent guy. I say some things sometimes, it's charged with a certain energy and certain phrases and whatnot because I'm doing it on purpose to get a chuckle out of you. If you're not laughing at the things I say or the way I say them, you probably just take yourself too seriously anyhow. You might want to analyze that. Look around. Who are your friends? What kind of people are they? Can you joke around with them, or has everything got to be super serious all the time? Because everything's got to be super literal and serious all the time. You're no fun, man. You're no fun. So I'm just putting that out there. If I don't like somebody and I think it's important enough for me to tell you, I'm going to tell you. Like, I don't like this person and here's why. If I think that that's important. Mostly, I'm not going to bring it up, and I'll distance myself from that person and avoid them and try not to talk to them anymore. But I have my own thoughts and opinions, and I share them here. So if you happen to be a YouTube person, whether we've met or not, just like you with me, with my content, everybody's judging me all the time, right? And I see it in the comments. I could take it. I'm a friggin' man. I could take it. You want to goof on me? Tell me you don't like this. You don't like the way my stuff goes. You don't like my audio quality. You don't like my content. You don't like the way the camera jumps around on the dashboard when I'm driving. Okay. None of that bothers me. I lose zero sleep over that at night. I'm doing the best I can with what I got, but I'm being genuine. Being 100% myself. There's no fake nonsense here. I don't have a Patreon. I don't plan on ever getting a Patreon. That would eat up way too much time. I don't knock it to the people who are doing it either. A lot of these people, once you get to a certain subscription number, and if you choose to make YouTube your only sole way of surviving, then that makes sense because that's it. That's your only job. You're going to put all your effort into YouTube. You're going to do your Patreon stuff. You're going to remind people to subscribe. You're going to do all these special things. You're going to do these meet and greets and all these other things. That's smart. That makes sense. A lot of people do that. A lot of people are very successful. That's a gamble because YouTube could take you down any moment they want. They can demonetize you. They can say you can't say that. There's all these constrictions to a certain degree. I got that criticism in a video I did, I think, yesterday. I think that was in the comments from some guy. My response was, I've been monetized for years and I speak my mind. It hasn't really hurt me yet. There's been a couple times where I've gotten flagged for something. There's been a few times where I put music in and I got the thing and I just said, okay, take the music out. YouTube does it automatically. Very simple. I'm aware of things that you can't say on YouTube, but I'm not the guy. I'm not going to pick on different types of people because of how they live their lives, who they want to have sex with, what they look like, all of it. I'm not that. I don't care. So I'm not concerned about what I can and can't say when it comes to those topics. I'm avoiding that while still speaking my mind. Do I feel strongly about those things? No. No, not at all. Don't really care. So it's just one of those things. It was just funny because, like I said, I don't engage in drama. I've stepped away from whole groups of people because it became drama, and it usually becomes drama because of the women. Now I've got my buddies back home, like the whole group of surfing bros, and when I was home several years ago, there was a lot of drama there with a couple of guys, and so I had to pull away from that too. Not going to engage in that. Nothing irks me more than when men engage in drama and talking behind backs and everything else, because I'm a direct guy. If you say something to me that I take offense to, I'm going to look you right in the face. I'm going to say, hey, what's the problem? What's going on? Why do you think that? Why are you giving me shit? Let's deal with it right now. Worst case scenario, well, bam! And it's two guys, you can do it, and then you can have a beer afterwards and become best friends. That's happened. I've seen it happen to other people. It's happened to me. Men can do that sort of thing. Can't do that with women, at least not anymore. So listen, lighten up. If you think I've said something negative to your character, or that I've tried to talk you down or something, and it really bothers you, reach out to me. Mike at MikeZDesign.com. Say, Mike, I'm the person, and I heard this. And I'll say, that's not true. Or I'll say, oh, you know what? I did say that, but you're taking it the wrong way. I can't control the way you take something I say. Cannot tell you how many women I've gone out with in my life where it became a thing now. It's almost like a mantra when I meet somebody new that I like that I'm going to date. And I'll have to say it. It kind of goes, it's not verbatim the same every single time, but it's along the lines of, look, if I say something that you take offense to, like a personal slight or attack, I didn't mean it that way. If something could be taken that way or a positive way, I always meant it the positive way, because I'm not that big of an asshole. I'm not going to purposefully say things to you to upset you or demean you or gaslight you or anything like that. I'm not that guy. So if you're hearing it that way, it could be you were damaged already in the past and now you see everything through that filter. A lot of women are like that. They've been hurt by men, screwed over, unrequited love, all these things. And so every time they hear something that they see as an offense to themselves or as a negative thing, right away they do that mentally. I can't control that. I can't control how you think or how you hear something. Just know it's never coming from that place. Believe me, if I got a problem with you, if I think there's something wrong with you, or you're a jerk or an asshole or some other word, I'm going to tell you, and I'll tell you to your face. And if you heard me say something, if you heard from, there's this thing, right? I think was it Plato? What's the rules? Is it true? Is it useful or helpful? Is it good? So when somebody calls you up and says, I heard this guy say something about you, you should say to that person, well, is it true? How do you know that that's true? Is it a good thing? No, it's not good. Well, is it useful? No, it's just, I heard this. Well, then why do you even want to hear it? That's the filter for gossip that you got to go through every single time you hear gossip from somebody. If you want to know what I think of you or what I've said about you, why don't you just call me up and let me know? Because I'll tell you. I got no problems with it. I'm a very confident guy that way. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people can't handle any sort of criticism. It's another good thing about doing that acting thing years ago when I was younger, is you learn how to deal with rejection and people not wanting you or whatever, and you learn that that's not something you should take personally, right? There's enough choice out there in the world. You can choose to unsubscribe to this channel. You can choose to never watch another one of my videos. That's fine with me. It's not going to bother me, because there's going to be new people that come in all the time. My episode 2 of the one that got away, I blame NPR. That was the dialogue the last time we hung out, where she was giving me grief over stuff I was putting out there on social media, because of her friends pushing her to do that, because they were the opposite. And we all know how that worked out. So that's it. I'm not going to participate in the drama. That's all this video is about. I'd rather deal with you directly if you hear anything. And to all my fellow YouTubers out there, to me, this is not a competition. I want you to do well. If you're doing way better than me, I'm happy for you. I want you to do that. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to do well. And I think we should all be helping each other out. Part of helping other people out is constructive criticism. If you're I get this from people all the time in my own comments. If you can't handle somebody not liking something about you or the way you portray yourself or your content, then you're in the wrong medium, man. If you're here only to get accolades all the time, that's a little narcissistic. You're going to set yourself up for a hard fall, man. I know many YouTubers, like very successful, 100,000 subscribers or more. They can't read their comments. They don't have the time for that. So none of this bothers them because they don't know about it. This is the first time somebody's ever called me out of the blue to tell me something like this, that there's some drama going on behind the scenes. Here's the thing, ladies. I assume that's always happening between you. I assume that all the time. And here's what happens, because this has happened to me in my life. I don't know anything that's happening, but I figure. And then when I'm in this group of people and something is said about me, bam, I deal with it right then and there. Oh, really? That's what you heard? First of all, that's none of your business. Second of all, this is the truth there. And this is what happened. And you know what? There's a whole set of circumstances that happened beforehand that led to the incident that you're hearing about now that was taken out of context. I gotta make a t-shirt that says context matters. That's coming, man. Context matters. Mike Z Design. So I'm just saying, we should know it by now. I'm not talking about anybody here that's under 30, 35. By then, you should know that when you hear somebody saying something about somebody else that you don't know for sure, you should know by now not to just accept that as reality until you know what reality is. I'll leave you guys with that one. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed this.